Good day to all my fellow marks out there, and welcome to the wacky and wild world of professional wrestling, the only form of entertainment where the most dominant and menacing faction are dressed in fresh Hanes white t-shirts. Grab yourself a drink and a snack, kick your feet up and relax. You are now listening to the Groupchat Wrestling Podcast.
Hi guys, welcome to episode 30 of the Group Chat Wrestling Podcast. I'm your main host Mike, and I'm going to let my co-hosts introduce themselves.
Shall I go? It's me, Andy. Back from TNT, which was fantastic. I've had a camera down my nose earlier on a few hours ago, so my nose is numb. Didn't need to know that, but whatever. And yeah.
Bro here, Brett here, your American hero. Never a dull moment in the world of professional wrestling, and we're gonna go through all the ups and downs from this past weekend.
Shall I go next? I'm Lucy, coming back for the second time, and honestly, all I really want to talk about is Toni Storm. So just wake me up when we get to that point, please.
Fair.
But it's been a bit of a mad week this week, hasn't it, boys? Lot going on. Where do you want to start? Should we start with AEW, or do you want to start with the Indies?
Yeah, go with Collision, I think, because it was a fantastic show. Where a lot of people fucking whinging. Oh, what they put in this on Collision for? What they put in this on Collision? While at the same time, Collision is just shit. It's a B show. Why do I need to watch it? Fuck off. It was a great show. From top to bottom. It was a fantastic episode of Collision.
Probably my favourite episode.
It's my favourite one this year of any AEW show, and that includes last week's Dynamite.
Oh, saying that this year, it's like only a month old, isn't it? So yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. I also love the Takeshita Shibata match, so I'm willing to talk about that as well.
That was class, wasn't it? I'd like we'll get onto this, but I can't. I need to get this out now. How good was that Don Callis segment with the family?
Oh, fantastic!
I want to believe they all live there in that house with Don Callis.
They do, don't they?
Oh, obviously, yeah. But who's
their family, of course.
Yeah, who's the other guy?
I have a theory, and it's probably going to be wildly wrong, and it's not David Arquette, but I do have a theory. And I think it could tie in very long term. I think it's Okada. Because Okada is going to... We all know the plan is Okada, Kenny Omega for All In. How would Kenny Omega get to facing Okada? It will probably happen if it turns out this way with some kind of fallout from the Kenny Omega, the obvious Kenny Omega Takeshita match that we're going to get. And if Okada is in there, it does set up the possibility for a Takeshita face turn, which a lot of people seem to want. I'm not so keen on it. I like him as a heel, but I feel like if you do have an Okada in there, that's him and Takeshita, two big guys. That could be the next feud after Kenny Omega and Okada. I don't know. I think it's going to be. I feel like it's got to be someone big. It can't just be Trent coming back because that'd be,
dude.
Yeah,
dude. You already know. You already know my answer, and you even saw the video I made up on TikTok. Like, I see what you mean by Okada. Like, it does make sense, but I feel that would be the two of an obvious choice because you look at, like you said, we know the plan is obviously Omega and Okada for All In, but you look at the timing right now, we're still in January. We still got a good almost 6 months to go. So you don't have to I don't think you have to lump Okada in to that storyline yet, with the Callis fan versus Omega and Osprey. So my thinking is, like I said, it would be underwhelming as hell if it were Trent who's the member.
Definitely.
But I like I said, I thought about it. I'm like, who if anyone knows how to hurt Kenny Moore, it's Don. Like, so who can he get that would really, not just physically but mentally from inside, hurt Kenny? And it's got to be someone close to him. It's got to be someone that's like blood, like former partner, former golden lover. It's gonna be Kota Ibushi. Like, come on, man. I'll paint the scenario for you right now. Grand Slam Australia, Omega and Osprey win the tag match. Here come the other members of the Don Callis family. Numbers game. You hear Kota Ibushi's music hit. He comes towards the ring. He doesn't lay a hand on any of the Callis members. They all run away. They all scurry away. And you see Ibushi and Omega, look at each other. They embrace. They hug. You know, they hands up and everything, looking at the crowd. Omega's looking in one way, and he turns around. Boom! Right through the uprights. Low blow from Kota. Turns on his former golden lover. And yeah, man, you got yourself a little mini feud right there that could go through maybe not a revolution. You could do that at Dynasty in April. It's filler. It gives you time to bridge to the eventual start of the feud between Omega and Okada. But I say you want to make it as shocking and hurt Omega as possible. I would go with Kota Ibushi.
What
Yeah,
have I
that's a lot.
told you about putting this out in the world, Brett?
I used to like you.
It's good, but that's why it's so good because look how mad you guys would be if it was him though. Like hearts would be broken all
No.
over the world.
The only negative I'd have with that is that a lot of the American audience still aren't that familiar with Kota Ibushi, so it wouldn't really have the effect that it would to kind of nerds like us, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I
So
think
would
it's
you
gonna
like
have.
would you like to lay it a little bit? Let's say like maybe initially he'll come out help and maybe give it a week or two.
I'd do,
Let
yeah,
them.
I'd 100% do that first. Bring him back in and kind of get across the importance of what he means to Kenny and stuff first. Then that'd work. But if you just had him come out like a Hogan bash at the beach moment, but whatever it is, if it's Trent and he comes out, it's gonna hit
I
like
don't
if it's gonna hit like if the NWO member was Mabel, like Eric Bischoff
Oh
seems to think
gosh.
it wasn't.
Mm.
But no, it's the only reason to say Okada is because he's fucking rudderless at the moment, isn't he? He's hopefully gonna be having a match with Buddy. That looks good. Really excited about that. That could be a cracker. But apart from that, and he's one of the biggest stars in your roster. He's probably got more money than anyone else. They need to do something with him.
They do, but hear me out. The other guy, if it's a man, the additional
I know
one.
what
I'm
you're thinking of. You're thinking of a man with a beard and glasses, aren't you? And a
No.
spray can.
No, I am not. He's far, far beyond. He's far too good to be associated with Don Callis. I was gonna say Wardlow, because surely he's due to come back soon. I mean, I haven't heard much about him. I think he's been out injured, has he?
Yeah, he has. Do you know what? If there's a person who can kind of almost rehabilitate and get some heat back on Wardlow, it's Don Callis.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably the best way they could bring him back if it is.
Just because that then is a gateway to Don Callis and MJF interacting properly rather than just a quick exchange of money, and that's something I really, really, really want.
I'd take it. MJF interacted with anyone, to be honest.
Yeah, but
I feel like he's.
Sorry, I don't necessarily think he is a man.
That's a very good point, because we've got well, I say the conglomeration is no more now, is it? So I was going to say Willows with the conglomeration, but we've got Marina Shafir with the Death Riders. So no, it's something that they probably should start doing, is adding more women to these stables. So that would be a very good shout if it is.
Yeah, throwing Camille.
Would be Megan Bain.
Oh yeah, of course.
Could
Yeah,
be.
okay, yours is better. Do that one.
Yeah, could be. That'd be a good one, wouldn't it? Like, she can wrestle men as well. So like, well, Camille probably could as well. But that's something that would be menacing.
That'd be a good shout. I think. Yeah, that'd be a good move.
Yeah. I wonder how long they're going to drag this out. Gabe, it could be Gabe Kidd. Isn't his contract due up or something?
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm
but
sure he
did
wants to leave. I don't know.
he
He
did
wants
make
to
a
leave.
big thing about he is New Japan and
Yeah.
But
The most obvious one that, like, aside from Trent, that will be a bit of a letdown, but it's going to happen at some point, would be Davis, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because I feel like he's going to join up with them at some point, but then you've got two tag teams in there. He's not going to be a singles wrestler, is he, Davis, realistically? Or not to any decent level. So if you do put Carl back with him, you've got two tag teams, and
Davis
Yeah, so
always joins Kyle though. However often Kyle is a dickhead, they've done it before in like other companies. Davis always ends up back with Kyle Fletcher.
it's 100% happening. It's basically we're just waiting for them to
Yeah,
turn an Oscar at
eventually.
some point. Yeah,
I mean, especially like you look with the Hurt Syndicate with the tag titles now. I mean, and the slowly but surely they're kind of like reforming the tag division. I mean, you have the Hounds of Hell, you got the Gates of Agony. I mean, it'll be kind of dope if you get like I said, Kyle and Mark back together. But just real quick, I just wanted to say about the Don Callis family. Like, go back to a year ago from now. Like, holy crap, the presentation of the group is just night and day. Like Lucy said, like just up the mansion, and the presentation of that whole segment was great. I mean, this is how we were hoping, like, the family should have been built up and presented. I mean, it's way better than at this point now than it was last year. And like I said, it's gonna be even more exciting depending on who the fifth member is. We'll see. But yeah, the presentation as and if you notice the setup when they were all sitting at the table, it was perfect. The setup, if you see, like obviously you have Don at the head, and at the back of the table you have your two monsters in Brian Cage and Lance Archer. And who do you have at the front? You got the two young studs, the two faces of the future, in Takeshita and Fletcher, right there. So, like I said, the presentation is an A plus right now. And like,
really. Sorry, mate. Go on.
no, and I was gonna say, like, speaking of presentation, I don't know if you guys like heard the news. Like, suppose like Tony Khan's been more in the weeds lately, like for creative. So, and I kind of like chuckled when I heard the news because I'm like, so it's been kind of like hit or miss depending on what you've been watching lately. Like, what if that was a result of more of like the supposed writing team around him, like and then what the past few weeks he just said, fuck it, give me the pen and get out of my way. I'll steer the ship,
I
in the
think
right direction.
I think there's a few things though, isn't there? Because I can't remember the woman's name now, but there was a woman who's been producing a lot of the videos for the House of
Peppermint.
Black. No, she's on Twitter and Blue Sky. I can't remember her name
Oh
now, but
yeah, I I know who
she
you're talking
produced the
about.
videos for Julia, and she's been working on a few other videos. She said recently. So I was wondering whether she had anything to do with it, to be honest, because the videos she did with Julia are fantastic. Like real top quality. So yeah, but they do look great, and what you say about the family and how they were presented, I totally agree. But I also feel like we never really got a chance to see the family fully fleshed out previously because of injuries. Because just as the family were starting to kind of expand and kind of push forward, we end up with the Hobbs injury. Kenny was injured, so Takeshita's the kind of momentum of Takeshita facing Kenny kind of had to fade away, and he was kind of left rudderless for a while. And obviously Trent joined and then got injured pretty much straight away, so there was nothing they could do with that. So a lot of people seem to. I've seen a lot of negativity around Callis. I like Callis. I think he's brilliant. The man's a heat magnet. He's one of the few, isn't he, who can go out there in the ring and get genuine fucking heat just by standing there and looking like a smug cunt. So yeah, I'm really excited to see where they're going to go with this. I'm glad they're actually looking like a proper fearsome, group now. The problem is we talk about tag teams. We need some face tag teams now because everyone seems to be fucking heel. Give me Better Than You, baby, back as faces. Fuck heels.
I agree with you about Callis, definitely. There's something wonderful about a heel that people don't eventually end up cheering because they're cool.
Yeah.
That's why that's one of the reasons I love Callis so much. But yeah, a face Better Than You, baby. It's not a popular opinion, but I'll agree with it.
I just want them back anyway with it. Like I originally want them back as heels, but we got too many heels now, so I'll pivot. That seems to be everyone's favourite word of late, doesn't it? Pivot. I'll pivot, and we want a face
Well,
Better Than You, baby. Somehow we're going to turn Max good, and somehow we're going to forget that Adam Cole screwed him over and stabbed him in the back.
Yeah,
I'd
man.
go for a face
So,
better than you, baby.
mhm.
You what, mate?
I'd go for a face better than you, baby.
They were brilliant. Like I don't get the hate. I fucking love that. That was one of my most
Oh
one of the
yeah.
times I most enjoyed wrestling because for 6 months up until his injury, that was just entertaining as shit. Yeah, it was stupid, but I don't care. Double clotheslines, fucking, having the crowd cheering for a fucking power slam, for a body slam. But like, it was brilliant stuff.
Remember the tag match in that tag tournament? It was Better Than You Baby versus Garcia and Guevara. They start out the match with the little dance off and
Yeah.
shit. And like, yeah, okay, it's goofy, that you can expect that from most of WWE, but it's okay to have those little segments that are just goofy and fun and whatever. And shit. And like you said, fucking MJF got over a power slam. They got over a double clothesline and shit. And like you
Oh,
said,
fucking kangaroo kick, for God's sake! What the
oh
fuck
yeah,
is a kangaroo kick?
fucking kangaroo kick, like, which is basically it's a shotgun drop kick, but hey, it's funnier when you say kangaroo. So it fucking worked. That's all that fucking mattered, Like the people, like this is why I say like so there's two different audiences. There's the live audience. There's the internet audience. He should be booking for the reaction based on the reactions of the live audience. Like so, whether you hate them or not, they're getting fucking cheered. The biggest reactions of the night. You fucking book them accordingly. It's no different than Jeff Jarrett right now. Like Andy, you see the fucking discourse online, like, oh, I'm tired of fucking Jeff Jarrett, but you hear the fucking crowd pop every time his fucking music hits or when he's talking. The crowd is engaged. The crowd is fucking interested. They're into it, and that's the crowd. Those are the voices that Tony should be listening to. You listen to those who are gonna pay the fucking money to come see the live product, rather than the whining crybaby little bitches who live behind their keyboard, 24/7 on Twitter and all social media, who just don't have an ounce of happiness in their fucking lives. So Tony's booking Jeff Jarrett accordingly. So yeah, like you said, they were fucking good for what they were, and yeah, give me another run of a face better than you, baby.
And I don't know, I don't know how we've stuck on this thing in the past, but while we're on it, my favorite promo of that year as well was when he did the Scott Steiner Mask promo. It was just fucking gold. It was genius. Didn't miss a beat with that. And even with Adam Cole at the end, just yeah.
Now that was good, but I also remember I think it was the Dynamite before Collision when they were gonna face FTR for the tag belts. You had MJF doing his best Dax impersonation, like I love my family, I love my daughter. Like that was fucking good too. But yeah, man, another run with them, I wouldn't mind that at all.
But modern Collision anyway, the most recent one. What else did we have? We'll save the main thing till the end because I know Lucy wants to talk about this. But we did have Big Bill. More moving to Big Bill story, not as much as I wanted. I really just wanted Big Bill to get the shit beaten out of him and Jericho and Cole to turn on him so we can get a face Big Bill. But it's going there still. I think it's heading that way. Maybe the building to a match with Hobbs before he gets beat because he did seem to get the better of him.
Yeah, first of all, I love how they structured. First of all, I love how that you go back to Dynamite. It wasn't announced as a match. They both just said, "Yo,
Yeah.
meet me in the parking lot." And I love that it was two segments. I love that it was beginning of the show, like towards the beginning of the show, and then they came back to it at towards the end of the show. Like I think that was perfect and that was brilliant. And shout out to Big Bill. Like you go back to that part where he hit some Hobbs with the backpack, and there was like bricks and handcuffs in there. And
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I guess there was a spot where he was supposed to use the handcuffs on Hobbs, but hey, shit happens. The cuffs got tangled. He had trouble. He improvised and just continued to beat the shit out of Hobbs. Like those punches, like god damn, those looked like they were connecting good. Like I think, damn, looked like Hobbs was bleeding hard way, from the punches. But I love just the brawling all over and like yeah, just the it was funny the little belly to belly like off the stage onto the table. I mean, it was good shit. I like it. And listen, at least for one night, it was focused on Big Bill. Like you just see the fucking potential
Oh,
with him that he
man,
could he could stand on his own
he's a fucking
7 foot.
star, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a fucking star in the making, and like I said, I wouldn't mind dragging out this feud a couple more weeks. Like you could throw in maybe a beatdown from the from Jericho and Keith from Brian Keith, like just get one up on him one week, however you want to do it. But I like where it's going. You're focusing on two young like potential stars in Hobbs and Hobbs and Bills. So I think the brawls they accomplished what they meant to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bill's absolutely fantastic. I can't say enough good about. I love him. I was there at the Collision Dynamite in
Yeah,
Cardiff.
same.
We just hijacked it in his favour, and
It was
I think
amazing.
it was brilliant. And it's fun to shit on Jericho, but he does elevate the people he's associated with. He really does. And yeah, they can. If they want Bill to go his own way, there are so many people who have previously been associated with Jericho who can advise Bill and be like, "Hey, look, we've been here." Whisper in his ear, and then eventually they all turn, and yeah, you've got a star.
He's got so much face potential. I mean, just yeah, I'm probably saying this because of the Collision, reception that we gave him in Cardiff. But it was insane, and I genuinely think if they push him right, he could get that all over America as well. Especially if they do the turn in New York. That'd be fantastic for him, though.
Yeah, no, it definitely could. But like you said, Jericho has there's a whole bunch of people that could go up to Bill and like tell him about Jericho. You could have Angelo. You could have Angelo and Daddy Magic. You could have Daniel Garcia. You could have Sammy Guevara. Like, yo, we were around Jericho for the longest. Like, just gonna use you up and spit you out. So you could kind of plant the seeds in Big Bill's head that way. To kind of have him start to have second thoughts with his association with Jericho. You could go that route.
And look, who's not going to listen to Daddy Magic? If you don't
Oh
listen
yeah,
to
man.
Daddy Magic, you should be a heel because you're scum.
Yeah. When he talks, you listen, man. He gives you a piece.
Exactly.
Gives you a
I fucking
taste.
love him. He's brilliant.
Yeah.
When we were at the All In, I could see him walking off down below where we were sat, and he was kind of walking off to use his phone or something. So I tweeted at him. I said, "We love you, Daddy Magic," and he instantly liked it, did like a smiley face. But I
Mm,
was looking to see if he's looking around, see where it was. He's fucking brilliant. It
yeah.
was great to see him in the ring again, and last week there. That was a decent, 6-man.
It was a
Nothing
good trio.
amazing, but yeah.
Remember it was Parker's like first match in, like almost a year. Remember he was on maternity leave with Solo as well. So yeah, I think he looked good. He looked decent in that match.
And the other, another one of my favorite parts of a great show was the Hounds of Hell getting their first, kind of showing away from Malachi, and it's great to see them. Like I don't know, they changed the look, and I think it works. They don't need to have all the Malachi black dark shit on anymore now.
I love Brody. Sorry, I love the look of Brody now.
Yeah, definitely.
He's gone full in on the the camo and the mask. It's absolutely beautiful. I love it.
It's fantastic, and then seeing afterwards seeing Buddy square up to Okada and call him out. I was just like, yes, here we go. This is Grand Slam's now taking shape. I'm excited. Buddy Okada's got so much potential. I think Buddy is got of all the wrestlers who are not getting a clear push. He's got probably the most potential for me. I think he can go places big time.
Yeah, absolutely. But what? Yeah, I think things are looking up for Buddy, and like I said, we got that potential Okada match at Grand Slam. I'm just hoping. I know we talked about it before, but oh man, we sooner rather than later we need that Buddy and to catch the match for the international title.
Definitely.
Sooner.
Exactly, man. We want that. I want Buddy Omega. This, you could do Buddy Ospreay again down the line. Somehow, I don't know whether he does side with Ospreay and help because of what Ospreay said to him. You could have Buddy against Fletcher. There's so much potential. Potential matches and stories you could do with him. And like I say, he's phenomenal. He's got such a high ceiling there that I just hope they they see that now. Now that the shadow of Malachi has gone from that team. Whether Malachi genuinely was injured or whether he genuinely was just refusing to take pins and stuff, we'll never know. And it's kind of unfair to speculate, isn't it? But whatever, there was something holding them back anyway. Whatever it was.
Right. So what else? I know we want to save that bit for last in collision. So the main event. Well, let's go over the main event to Takeshita and Shibata. And before we go, like tell me, like, is it true that I don't know, recently over the years that like New Japan they didn't want Shibata like taking any bumps or whatever like over there in Japan? Is there any truth to that?
Yeah, Mike probably can explain it better than me.
Basically, so the thing with Shibata is, a couple of years ago, he had a match and bled hard way, and he had, I believe, some form of aneurysm. And the joke is that they had to remove his brain. Whether they did or not, well, they didn't. But that was the joke. They had to remove his brain. And after that, basically, New Japan had been so scared that Shibata would die in their ring that they basically let him go to AEW. And that's why we get Shibata in AEW doing beautiful, beautiful things.
Yeah, that's why he was only allowed the exhibition match with Tanahashi, I think, on the
that's right. Yeah,
the Dynasty show. It was
The slap off, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it was just 5 minutes of just slapping. I'm like, God damn! But at least it looks hopeful. I don't know if you guys remember. I don't know if it was on the same night on Dynasty or whatever, or it might have been on the following Dynamite that supposedly he talked to Tanahashi about doing the rematch like in America, like on Dynamite, I guess. So hopefully we get like the real match between those two. But I mean, yeah, just back to the Takeshi and Shibata match. Like, oh my fucking word! Like, I think it went as just as good as I think we thought it would be. But yeah, it was so fucking beautiful, man. Like, just it was the proper match that I feel Takeshi needed. In front of the American audience, in front of the AEW audience, just to remind you, like, he's that fucking guy. I mean, the run that he's been on the past month, like, in AEW and obviously in New Japan. I mean, from Shingo to Ishii to oh fuck, what's his name? I goddamn forget the other fucking guy's name.
He's in that bracket of being unable to have a bad match. I don't think I don't think he has a bad match in him.
No, he doesn't. Like anyone that he's been put in the match with recently, like he's knocked it out of the park. But yeah, him and Shibata, was just a fucking war. They were just It was just good old fashioned, just beating the shit out of each other for like a good 12 to 15 minutes. Give me that than the Yeet Man over on WWE.
Okay, now, man. Yeah, I wonder how. Like, I know we're talking about the what happened to Shibata, and we think whether he's supposed to take it easy or not. But I wonder if there is limits to what he can do now. Because
he's definitely lost his step.
Well, I mean, in terms of safety, like, is there some things where he maybe has to be a little bit careful? Because I don't know, I would love to see. I don't know how we'd get this because they're both good guys and they're both on the same team. I would fucking love to see Shibata and Joe go at it.
Oh, you can do that story easy. Respect.
Yeah, but there's one match I'm hoping we get this year. I mean, damn, it'll be a long time coming now that Shibata like is healthy. We gotta run back Okada and Shibata, man. It's been what,
Okay, yeah.
7, 8 years since the last time in Japan?
No headbutts.
Yeah, no headbutts, but you can have Shibata hit the bitch maker. Hit that bitch maker slap.
That would be
Oof.
beautiful. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they are protecting Shibata. That seemed like a really hard-hitting match. I know that Takeshi's amazing and will probably protect anyone.
Yeah,
But
it didn't look like Shibata was like pulling up at all. I think they were going full force. So I think Shibata, like, I don't know, at least from what I've seen, I think he's good to go. I don't see much limitations, especially in this past Saturday's match.
While we're talking about Takeshita, by the way, it's totally random this, but I'd seen someone mention it on the internet. I didn't know if it was real or not. Is he married to Yuka?
I've never seen this anywhere. There was one
No,
photo that
I
someone
did see this
posted
the
them
other
together.
day.
Like, it's never been confirmed by anyone. It's just there was one picture of them together, and people have decided they're married.
Yeah, because I've never heard anything at all about it, and now all of a sudden
Yeah.
people are like, oh yeah, they've been married for years. Like, you know, they moved to America together or something. I was like, what? Where's all this coming from?
No, I don't tend to believe anything unless I hear about it maybe from Fightful or in a Max Caster rap. That's where I get my wrestling news. Otherwise, I assume it's all bullshit.
If ever there's been a week where we should learn to live by that, then it was this week.
But can I say one more thing about Takeshita? I want to make a prediction that I can come back to if I'm proved right. I think that they're going to have him be the guy to kick out of the one-winged angel.
Oh yes,
Ooh.
yes.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think Kenny wants to make Takeshita a star. I feel like that's what he wanted to be.
They're queuing up to put that guy over.
Well, that's what he wanted. That's where it was going before. I mean, people. This is what wrecks my head about. You know, we've talked about this in recent weeks about people going, "Oh, they never treated Kenny as a star." They fucking did. He was the belt collector. He was the champion for a fucking year. He beat everyone. He was having great matches. Then he got fucking injured, and when he come back, it was his choice to put fucking Takeshita over. That was the whole fucking plan, and then it just so, you know, unfortunately they couldn't get the second match in the continuation because of his illness. But like Takeshita was the one that he clearly sees as a fucking star himself, and wants to, you know, kind of give the Kenny Omega touch, as he would call it, which he already has in a way, you know.
Yeah, I mean the guy's signed to 3 different promotions now, Takeshita. So
That's fucking mad, isn't it?
there's a lot of really, really positive vibe about him.
He's unreal. Like he really is phenomenal. Like he's in the bracket with Ospreay, Omega, a couple of others where they're just incapable of having a bad match.
Very quick before we do move on from Takeshita, and slightly off topic, but I hope you get what I mean. So, as we know now, Takeshita is the international and never openweight champion. The never openweight championship is basically New Japan's version of what they have in the UFC, which is the baddest motherfucker belt. That's what it's for. Would you have them do something like that in AEW? Or would you have one of the existing belts sort of become that BMF belt?
I wouldn't bother myself.
No,
I feel like
the FTW.
Yeah, and it didn't work, did it? And for me, well, it did for me anyway. I don't know. I feel like the FTW was just shit, to be honest. It was the only time I actually cared about it was when Jericho was taking the piss with it, and that was only for a few weeks.
I didn't mind it, but I think it was the time to finish it, definitely, because what can you do with it, really?
Yeah, well, that was the problem. I mean, even when Brian Cage had it, and I fucking love Brian Cage, but it never felt like anything. It just, you know, and then Starks had it, and it was just a bit pointless.
So maybe a new one would, but I think they've got enough titles.
I think so. I think they need to use them a bit better. We need more TNT defenses, and I've done this to death, but that Continental Classic needs to just become a trophy.
Yeah, it should have been a trophy in the first place.
It was just a vehicle for Eddie to get the Triple Crown on it. Let's be honest.
It was, but I feel like it takes away from the importance of the C2 when they can just defend it whenever they want. You know, like Buddy's got a chance now against the card, or we assume so. In my mind, it would have been so much. It would mean so much more if they had a bit of a feud, you know, a bit back and forth, maybe a couple of matches, and then Buddy entered the tournament at the end of the year to try and take that, rather than just being able to have a C2 rules match at Grand Slam.
Right. So yeah, it definitely would.
Yeah. Anyway, we've been kind of holding the best to last enough now. So let's go, Lucy. Do you want to go into this? Seeing as this is what you've been really excited to talk about.
I've been waiting. Although we have missed out the women's match with Yuka winning, but that's fine. I'll let it go.
Oh
We
shit, we did. I feel like
we
WBD
did.
there. Yeah. Well, fucking hell, what's going on? Am I
That's
running
fine.
Warner
No,
Brothers
you promised me
Discovery?
Toni Storm.
Yeah. Well, we'll still talk about that because I want to talk about that actually afterwards. So yeah, Toni Storm, go.
She is the best thing in wrestling, not just in women's wrestling. She is the best thing in wrestling right now. Her character work is completely phenomenal. I've seen some people say, "Oh, I knew she was timeless, pretending to be Tony, so it spoiled it." No, it didn't spoil it at all. I knew Osprey and Kenny were going to team up. That didn't spoil it. It was perfect. And anyone complaining that it was on Collision can get in the bin because it was perfect. They had her do her re-debut on Rampage. So it makes sense that she would be on Collision as well. And it's a way to get people to watch it. She is absolutely fantastic. I love Mariah, I really do, but I so desperately want Toni to win the title back. So go on, tell me how great she is, all of you.
I know. I'm with everything you said. I think she's it's like this genuinely. This is the best character work I've ever seen in wrestling. I don't think I've ever seen anything as close. The only thing that's close, fully enough, is the other storyline that's ongoing with somebody else, and that's Hangman. I think the two of them are way above anybody else in terms of character work in any company. It's next level stuff. Tony's stuff is just phenomenal. I did call it that she was acting. I think a few of us did, but it was good. It didn't spoil it for me because it was great. Cause it was really, if anything, it enhanced it because we could see the little glimpses of Timeless in the Toni Storm portrayal that she was doing over the last few weeks. Because there was a few times when she just gave that look, the Timeless look, or a little bit of a a kind of the mannerisms and stuff would kind of slip out, and it's fucking fantastic. There's nothing that touches it. There really isn't. And on top of all this, she can actually wrestle as well. And I'm really looking forward to what happens at Grand Slam. The Mariah thing, I feel like she's been dealt a bit of a shit sandwich, to be honest, with the title run, because unfortunately, due to whether it's WBD or whether it's Tony, and the lack of women's matches that we get. We spoke about this last week. The women don't get a chance to build up any momentum and to generate any serious feeling that you feel like they could be or they should be a world championship contender. So a lot of Mariah's matches have felt like very random. Not matches, but the feuds have felt like there's a bit of randomness to them. Like she should never have been facing Anna Jay. Anna Jay shouldn't be have been straight into the world title picture at all. She shouldn't have faced Thunder Rosa randomly after one segment on a Dynamite. But because we don't have women's matches more than 5 minutes on a fucking show, you can't build these women up to the point where you get a credible feud. The only two women in the world title picture that have been built up to this stage is Toni and Mariah. So this is going to be fantastic, but there's something else needs to be done after this, whether she wins or whether she loses, because otherwise it's going to be back to shit after this.
You're absolutely right. And I will point at Toni and Mariah just constantly to say, look what the women can do when they're given time, when they're given some freedom, when they're allowed to just go out there and take the time to let the story develop. We had Toni imitating Mariah, who used to imitate Toni, and it's just great, layers upon layers. It's been perfect. When Toni said, "I want to be just like you," and then acted like Mariah, fooling her, it was phenomenal. So yeah, I hope they use this to let a few of the other women maybe just run with something, see if it works.
They need to, but I said last week I feel like it's WBD, only because when they're not involved, like Ring of Honor, we get loads of women's matches on Ring of Honor. They get loads of time on there, which is probably why, not probably why, it's because Athena's fucking brilliant, but it's probably contributed to the fact that Athena's been able to develop herself to this level. Dark, we used to get loads of matches on Dark when it was on YouTube, loads of women's matches, and that was when the standard was a lot, not as good as it is now. But for some reason, on anything that's on a Warner Brothers TV station or streaming or whatever, we're only allowed 5 minutes. It's fucking stupid. And I moaned about it last week, but they can't get the fucking TV reps in. So as good as these can be, and people go, oh, why don't they go and wrestle on the indies? That's all well and good. But if you're not wrestling in front of a fucking a camera on a TV show, you're not going to be getting the same experience that you need to improve and get better. And we can't see them get better, and they can't show us what they can do because they're not getting the fucking chance. Something has to be done. It's fucking stupid. There's so many in there that don't not getting. You know, Jamie Hayter should have had more matches by now, more screen time since she's been back. She should be in one of the title pictures or kind of not necessarily in because you can't have them all in, but she should be on the edge of one of them. Deonna has just dropped off the face of the earth in terms of any momentum, really. And considering how good she was in TNA, it's just bizarre.
Deonna, yeah, I expected them to do so much with her, and yeah, they've got her doing the odd thing now, but it hasn't been what I expected from Deonna. The other one I yell about is Penelope Ford. She spent a lot of time in the industry. She's an incredible character worker. She's an amazing storyteller, and they just haven't shown it yet.
She's been so good since she come back. Like, I mean, I've said this to the lads on a couple of the other shows we did. Like, a lot of people seem to be kind of pushing this whole Anna Jay's improved so much narrative. I think she has improved, but not that much. And when Penelope Ford come back, I felt like she was better. And considering she's been out for so long, that's a testament to how good she actually is. I'd love to see them give her more time and kind of put a little bit of something behind her now as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you've got Queen Aminata there as well, absolutely killing it.
She's incredible. Yeah, I mean, like the 4-way. Then we were going to. Sorry, lads. You Brett and Mike, Toni Storm. Before we talk about this 4-way, what do you got to say about it, apart from the fact that it's absolutely phenomenal and it's the best thing in wrestling?
I mean, she is right now easily the best thing in women's wrestling right now. I'm gonna go. I've said this before, and I think I'm just. I think my take is aged well. I think she's the timeless Toni Storm gimmick is the greatest gimmick in women's wrestling history. I don't think there's a doubt. There's little to no doubt in my mind about that. I mean, I think the two best examples of character work right now are herself and Hangman. Obviously, I mean, little to no debate on my end, but yeah, Toni Storm already at this point, she's already an all-time great with this gimmick. Whether she wins or loses against Mariah at their, the title match in at Grand Slam, I think is irrelevant. You know, whether she wins or loses is gonna hurt her cause as being one of the greats of all time. So yeah, I mean, to- Tony's amazing. Tony is great, and it's I don't know why I don't know if you guys saw on Twitter or just online, like people were kind of referencing like Tony's height. I guess like it was the camera angle. Like someone put like a side by side picture of her and like three apples standing next to each other, like that she's short. Well, I'm like maybe it's just a camera. I don't know. I just found it weird. People online are just fucking weird on what they fixate on.
It's because she had no fucking shoes on though as well. She's obviously going to look shorter.
Yeah, it's a Hello Kitty reference. I think the apple thing, like so many apples high. It's like I think it's just like a sort of how they measure cute little things. I don't know that there was anything malicious about it. It's just like a Hello Kitty meme.
I would also go as far though as to say what you said there, Brett, about being the best thing in women's wrestling. I think she's probably the best thing in wrestling. Full stop. It's the best character work I've ever seen. It really is. I can't wait for Grand Slam, and I hope that we get. I would like her to lose because I want to see this go a little bit longer.
Yeah, I think it would benefit. It would benefit both of them if Tony lost, and more so if Mariah won. You give her a little bit more juice, like she's being Tony, 2 times in a row right now, and maybe you get further character development if Tony loses again. Maybe she goes in a downward spiral, in a sense afterwards. And, hopefully that will bring back in Luther, try to aid her and get her back on her feet. But, she's fucking.
This is where we get to my theory. And tell me if you think I'm talking shit. But I did say this last week, but when we had the women's casino, what they called now? The casino
Gauntlet.
Gauntlet, yeah. and Megan Bain turned up. Did you not think that Mariah was hamming it up a little bit too much? Because she can act, and it sounded like well wooden the way she was giving it the old. Where's a graphic? Oh no, what's going on? I think Megan Bain is going to help Mariah win. And I think Megan Bain's going to be an absolute monster. And I wouldn't be surprised if she beats the shit out of Luther as well.
Oh, I would take
The
that.
game for that.
And because I think Megan Bain needs to be built as a Vader. I think she needs to be built as a Vader 1992 era kind of character. Completely unstoppable. And when I would have her helping Mariah, eventually split. I would probably actually have a beat Mariah. And then you need the Ric Flair 92 or Sting. Sorry, Ric Flair 93 or Sting around that era. Face, who will be the one that struggles but manages to overcome the monster unstoppable heel. I think they need to do that with Megan Bain. They need to just make her an absolute fucking monster who destroys everybody.
If we're going to have an underdog... Oh, sorry, go on.
No, I was just saying she's going to have to go through some big names to do that, and that's what Vader did. Vader absolutely fucking buried everybody.
You have the perfect two names that she could wreck through. First one, like I love her, but it's got to be Willow. She's got to destroy Willow. I mean, everyone loves Willow, so that would bring upon like good amount of heat on Megan Bain if she destroys Willow. And then the second one, Andy, like I'm waiting, I'm begging for this match to fucking happen, but when we get fucking Megan Bain and Statlander, like
I agree.
Oh god, like I don't think I'm gonna make noises when that match happens.
But the thing is,
everyone, you'll hear mine from Cumbria. You absolutely will.
And the thing is, if we do get
PG noises,
if we do get her doing that though, and she does go through those people, the ideal face, like just for me as someone like who's old and remembers the Vader angle like it was yesterday, that went before Ric Flair was a horrible cunt. The perfect face is the one who's been around and kind of maybe been out of the picture for a bit and comes back to fight for the company essentially because everybody else has been taken down. And that for me would be Toni. If Toni goes away for a while after losing, or not goes away, but kind of maybe just kind of takes a little bit of time out and diverts her attention elsewhere. Toni coming back around full circle to be the one to actually beat Megan Bain down the line would be fucking phenomenal for me. I think that would be great stuff.
It would, but can I also suggest that if you want someone coming from the absolute very bottom of coming from nothing and nowhere to eventually beat the unbeatable monster, Harley Cameron would be my choice.
If she carries on improve, kind of at the rate she's going, I wouldn't disagree with that. She's absolute gold on TV, isn't she?
Yeah, she's another one that can just do it. Amazing character work. You
can't take your eyes off the TV when she's on. It's just fascinating stuff, and musically as well, she's brilliant. Like I said this last week to them. Like she reminds me a bit of Tenacious D with the way she delivers her vocals.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
On the phone with Jack Black now. We need a damn just a segment, in-ring segment, little like a 4 or 5 minute concert with those two. Just no script, just ad-libbing. Like, oh, it'd be so fucking good.
And look, and this is before we, the problem is we're looking ahead, and this is why it's so frustrating not getting these more time on TV, because we're talking about all this and getting excited about it, and that's when we don't even consider the fucking Mercedes is around. Athena, Jamie Hayter, like there's 3 of the fucking best women's wrestlers on the planet there.
Yeah, Mercedes about to take on Yuka, which I can't wait for.
I was surprised she won, to be honest, but that's going to be fucking good.
I thought it was Diona.
Yeah, I think it looks.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like they're going to have Diona Harley, doesn't it? From the way that ended, which look, that's not a bad second prize, is it? We'll take that.
Yeah, that'd be a good shot, that match.
We'll probably get Harley against Taya, won't we? And then Harley Diona. That seems to be the way it would be, wasn't it? The kind of sidekick to Diona. And but yeah, it was great to see Queen Aminata again as well. She's absolutely fucking unreal, isn't she?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, she's great. That's another one that you could feed to Megan Bain as well, and in her path of destruction. Like, god damn, Aminata and Bane would put on a nice little fun match.
Very hard hitting. I think her and Jamie Hayter would have a match that would have you wincing because they both look like they're going to take someone's head off when they throw a dig.
Oh yeah. Right, so I think we covered everything on Collision.
Yeah, we did. It was a great show. Really excited for Dynamite. I wish it was Wednesday
Yeah.
tonight, actually, but it's not.
So yeah, real quick, just want to go on a little very very short mini rant about Collision and the aftermath of Collision. Because Andy, Lucy, and Mike, that not everybody can be, not everyone is happy in the world of the IWC.
Ever.
A lot of miserable fucking cunts out here. Because, like you said, I think we can all agree it was probably maybe it was the best or top two, top three episode of Collision ever from top to bottom. The show was paced well. I mean, you didn't get just your normal great matches. You got great storyline progression. You got great character development. You got great memorable moment and timeless Tony Storm coming back. But what's the fucking fallout right after Collision or the day after is, oh, why the fuck wasn't it on why was it on Dynamite? Oh, why was the timeless Tony Storm on Dynamite? Why was the Chaos Family on fucking Dynamite? Dynamite is only a 2-hour fucking show. For the longest time, you have complaint about Tony Khan not making Collision seem important at all. That it's only been excuse me, that's only been heatless and pointless matches, and it's just been banger matches that lead to absolutely nowhere. So when Tony actually gives you not just the great matches you want, but you get great storyline progress, you get great character development, you get a nice, great even flowing show. He gives you what you want, and it's just nothing but constant bitching and whining and complaining, and it just furthers my belief that the last people that I don't care whether you're Tony Khan, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, whatever booker you are, the last people you should be listening to are the fucking chronically online fans, whether it's on Twitter or whatever social media app that you're talking about. Because like I said, every fan, majority of fans these days, it seems like they have a quota of bitching that they just have to get in no matter what the circumstance is. Like, he gives you a Collision that means everything, that's even flowing, that's leading you into the next episode of Dynamite, and that's the fucking discourse that we get after a great episode. There's just no for a lot of fans out there, for Tony Khan, there's nothing that he could do that will ever make any of them fucking happy.
I agree. People are just
Correct.
whinging cunts. They don't like nice things. And like we
Yeah.
said the other week as well, I'm sick of people using this "we" thing. We don't want this, Sony. Fuck off. But they use that against things like Better Than You, baby. We didn't want it. It was terrible, Tony. It was WWE. Like, fuck you. I enjoyed that. I don't care what it was.
Oh, here's another one. Remember this time last year, Sting's retirement tour. I think around this time last year, we found out it was the Bucks who were going to be the final opponent for Sting. For Sting, we don't want this. What the fuck? Like you said, first off, you're fucking idiots. You didn't realize that it was Sting who wanted the Bucks. Like, who the fuck would not want the Bucks, one of the greatest tag teams of all time, as their final match in a tag team match? And lo and behold, one of the best matches of last year. I mean, and what a fucking great moment in wrestling history that match was, man. I was crying at the end of that match, end of that night. Like, it was fucking beautiful. But yeah, like, it's just the whining crybaby little bitches who be like, we don't want this, we don't want this. Who the fuck is we? You don't want this. You don't fucking speak for me. I speak for myself just fine. Okay?
Fucking wrecks me head, mate. Honestly, it does it. It's so annoying. Like, Tony, we all want to pivot. So you got to listen to us. Let's bully Tony. Fuck off. We don't. Not all of us want to pivot. I don't want to just throw a fucking belt on Kenny Omega just to please 7 people on the internet.
Because then they're gonna bitch and whine like, "Oh, why are you giving the belt to Kenny? Where's the story? Oh, you just threw the belt on the Kenny. You got to do Just shut up. Go take a walk.
I like you again.
Yeah. God damn. Go touch some grass. Smoke some grass. Whatever works for you. Fuck. Damn.
Touch grass
But
while
then again,
smoking
no,
grass.
no. You know what? No, a lot of them, no. They shouldn't be around normal civilized folks like us. They maybe they should just stay inside. Lock them in the mother's basement and throw away the key.
People in real life.
Couldn't agree more, my fuck.
If they're hungry, just order DoorDash.
I'm not having them ruining my TV shows.
Yeah, man.
Quite right. They shouldn't be listening to the Chronicle Online, except for me. I know exactly what Tony Khan should do next. He should book entirely for me. Everyone else is wrong. But yeah, I agree with you about everyone else but me.
I would love Tony to book just for me, and I guarantee you that it would be amazing. It would also get cancelled after about a week, but still it would be great for that one episode for me.
Yeah,
it would just be really niche.
It would just be, I made you guys on like SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain, and I want to see something. Go. But yeah, it would be cancelled instantly, but I'd love it.
It'd be a good week, wouldn't it?
Like really niche British reference here. It'd be like do you remember Frankie Boyle got his own TV show for like 2 weeks?
Oh,
and then it got cancelled.
Yeah, it's a fucking reason it got cancelled, though.
yeah, that's what I mean. He's like, yeah, let's give Frankie his own TV show. 3 weeks later, cancelled. Yeah, shouldn't I give that fucking nut at his own TV show?
Fucking, yeah, no. Tony, don't listen to anybody. Apart from, maybe Bryan Danielson. Maybe Kenny Omega. Those kind of people.
Yeah.
And Jericho, obviously.
Yeah, and RJ City.
Oh, fucking yeah. Actually, I've RJ City book everything. I would, yeah. Give me an AEW YouTube, special. A weekly show, actually, because I'm greedy like this. I want a weekly show of RJ City hosting his own version of Whose Line Is It Anyway? And it's called AEW's Line Is It Anyway? That's what we need. Book it, RJ. I've already told you this, and you liked the tweet when I said it. Book it, do it. You know what makes sense. He's a fucking genius.
It's probably in production right now.
He's a genius. I'd love to. I mean, listening to some of the wrestlers talk outside. Some of them are funny as fuck as well. They'd be great on it. Imagine the Outrunners on that.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, Harley Cameron, Nyla Rose.
Nyla Rose is funny as fuck, isn't she? Harley Cameron would be amazing, yeah. And like Tony, probably amazing. The work she's doing and pulling off at comedy timing's fucking great. Juice is off his tits.
You get Bowens on there also.
Owens has trademarked the pride of wrestling, hasn't he?
Yeah.
That's an interesting one. Kind of ruins my hope that he was going to turn heel. I wanted him to turn heel. I thought he would have been a big shock. But
yeah, I thought Bowens was joining the Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah, same. I thought it was going to be a big swerve. And he was going to be the one taking the card. But what do you think about Max Caster's open challenge? Do we think... essentially what I think is going to happen, I'll tell you. And then you can tell me if you think I'm talking shit again. Is that I think he's going to have a few jobbers. And then I think he's going to randomly get maybe Bowens in about a month or two.
Yeah, I think he goes through a lot of jobbers to declare himself best wrestler alive. And I think he eventually ends up with Ricochet.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad one, though.
Or maybe Stokely. I'm just thinking of obnoxious dickheads that would be funny together.
Stokely would be great. We need Stokely back, man. Bring him back. Where is he? He got kidnapped, didn't he? He's not still drinking that fucking weird drink with Mercedes, is he? Whatever the flavour Mountain Dew it was, or whatever it was.
Well, they carried him off out the audience, didn't they? Someone stole him and ran off.
Bring him back.
That's what I just want to.
Yeah, but has he been? I think he's been seen since, though, hasn't he?
Has he?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
It's not all positive about AEW. They do fuck up sometimes, and they fucked up when they did the whole Statlander turning good thing and randomly Stokely just having nothing to do. That was dreadful. That. So it was the kind of thing where, as we said, if it was WWE, we'd slag it off. So you've got to, be be the same with it. It was terrible. They were great together.
See, we're not
absolutely were.
overly positive about AEW.
I do like Stokely teaming with Caster. Oh, that'd be good.
Caster,
great
Ricochet,
suggestion.
and Stokely, and I just have the most obnoxious trio ever.
Like, it makes your fist itch just thinking about it, doesn't it? But in a I would tune in to see them get pounded way.
I like Caster. I know everyone hates him because he's a bellend on the internet, like, but like he's just a troll, isn't he? You know, and it's
all deliberate and it worked.
Yeah, it did, and I feel like the work he's been doing in ring recently has been great because it's all little things he's added that have slowly kind of teased us into this story. Like I thought the four-way tag match was that yeah, it was 4 teams, wasn't it? Yeah, I thought that was great because the way he kept kind of signaling to Bowens to do something and then he'd kind of do something else and then he'd blaming him. He played that perfectly. The match wasn't anything great, but he played it fantastically, really. Yeah, so anyway, we've waffled on about that enough. It was a great show. Dynamite's probably going to be very good from the sounds of it. But yeah, if any of you watched TNT on Triller this weekend, you would have seen our logo on the canvas. It's fantastic. It was a great show. We were there for both shows. And it was really good. Even the daytime one, Mike, wasn't it? The daytime one was really good. The Ignition.
Fantastic.
Like there was a 20-man rumble that was really, really exciting. Like if you haven't seen it, I would advise you to watch it on Triller. I think you get a 3-week trial on Triller. But it's definitely worth watching. And yeah, the Ignition was great. We had a couple of great matches, but the one that stood out to me, right, was we had the title match between MVK and this guy, Bullet. Never heard of him. It was a big fucking unit of a guy. And looked like a bit of a powerlifter, to be honest, is building that. Like, but he's a big unit of a guy. And none of us had ever heard of him. And within about, 3 or 4 minutes of the match, he was over as fuck. All the crowd were loving him. We were cheering him. We got to the point where we were like, shit, he might actually win this, And it was like a real kind of wave of positivity around him. And he didn't, spoiler, he didn't win. But then the Rumble was on, and I said to the lads, I wonder if, because he was over there, if that was me, I'd stick him in the Rumble, and just kind of change the plans and be like, get him winning the Rumble. And sure enough, he turns up in the Rumble. And again, the crowd were loving it. He was over as fuck. And yeah, he didn't win it, but whatever. It was still brilliant. And I was chatting to him afterwards and after the show, and I said to him, like I said, look, mate, I don't mean this. I mean this in a nice possible way. I'd never heard of you, but then within like 5 minutes, I was like, oh, I fucking love this guy. He's brilliant. So I asked him who he fancies having a chat on the podcast, and he said, yeah. So we'll give him a shout at some point and get him on, and he can just tell us about it because it was good. It was a really good showing, and yeah, that was just the main show. So the daytime show, sorry, the main show was just fantastic. Robbie X-Man, like the Reese, just two guys who are just on the next level. So what that's going to be like. We had the experience against Rio and Emerson. That was really good. I was getting very drunk at this point. It was great. We had Judas was supposed to be wrestling Harley Hudson. And then I didn't realise that she'd pulled out, wasn't available, whatever. And then randomly, fucking Leon Cage came out. So I'm a fucking huge fan of Leon. We've had him on the podcast, and I just fucking lost me shit. I was buzzing with that. Obviously, we had and it was a phenomenal match, by the way, as well as some of the shit that he was doing. It was incredible, especially considering them stupid lights. We had Tate against Jay Joshua was brilliant. He's such a good fucking heel. If any of you haven't seen much of him, you should do, because he's like an old school heel. The way he wrestles and the way he plays it. It was the finish of the match was just classic stuff that you could put, Flair or somebody, back when everyone thought wrestling was real. Yeah, it was great. And the death match. Oh, we had a death match that was violent as fuck, glass everywhere. Drew Parker's a sick motherfucker. He's a psychopath, which is why he's so good. B.A. Rose, another sick fucker who's just, an absolute fucking maniac. And what else did we have, Mike?
We had Man like Reese, Robbie X, tag
we had
match.
we had the Adam Bolt Che Monet
Yeah.
match based. You know, it was a fallout from the last event when they split. A grudge match that was good. Look, it's not. This isn't a review. It's just me kind of running over it. Got just the thoughts off the top of my head. I'll probably do a proper review at some point if we sit down and talk about it, Mike, because it was brilliant. Really enjoyed it, and I think everyone should get down there if you can and watch one, and or if not, just watch it on Triller. Great promotion. And some of your favourites will turn up because obviously, as we know, they turn up all over the show. You know, Robbie X now is holding the title, so he's going to be back. But the crowd really wanted to see Leon Cage back. So yeah, it's
a good chance you'll see us there.
Yeah, we'll be there. Yeah, so come and have a drink with us. But I can't wait for the next one, to be honest. And our logo's on the canvas. Did I tell you that? Sorry, go on. What was that, Lucy?
Next one, if we wanted to come.
The next one is in March, at the end of March. Level Up.
March 29th.
Yeah, it's Level Up and DOA because there's two shows. The way they schedule it is quite good. We have one show is on early afternoon. Was it 1, Mike, or 2? I can't remember now when it started.
Yeah, like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
And then so it's on, and that's the PG show. So that's the one where you're not going to get people throwing light tubes around. And then you have the nighttime is the main show, which is 18s over. And yeah, that starts at 7 o'clock.
Okay, what's the venue?
Fusion in Liverpool.
Fusion, yeah. Okay.
No, it's good. I'd highly recommend it if you do want to go to one.
If you're a wrestling fan with young kids in the northwest of England, I absolutely recommend the afternoon shows, the ignition shows, full of little kids, loads of little kids in attendance. But it's great couple of hours with the kids, get them into some wrestling.
It is, and do you know what? Some of the kids, you can see it having the time of life as well because they're kind of down on the front and the wrestlers are high-fiving them and stuff. And you can see they're really, really loving it, like, you know. And yeah, look, if you've got kids and you want to go and see the nighttime show, you know, sneak them in. Just be a horrible parent, and you know, they'll be scarred for life and have nightmares for the rest of their life. But whatever, you know, it'd be worth it for that, you know, that one moment.
All right, well, look, it's only 2.5 hours away from me, so
yeah, you should come to the next one. Yeah, it's the next one is DOA, so it's just fucking big death match, isn't it?
Death match,
yeah, and they've announced a few names already. And Level Up is the ignition one. I think did they do a briefcase thing there, Mike? I'm not too sure. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's like a Money in the Bank type gimmick.
Yeah. So yeah, that'll be good. But yeah, you should keep an eye out. It's good, and as like I say, our logo's on the map, which makes it even better, doesn't it? You know, next to Matt Cardona's.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? I'll start making bracelets and key rings now.
Oh, JBL. JBL has been threatening to turn up as well because he wants to beat the shit out of Tate Mayfair.
We all want to beat the shit out of Tate Mayfair. Have you told him there's a queue?
It's funny because he said that he's going to get security on the door in case JBL turns up. And I was thinking, the security wouldn't be the only ones who wanted to get a dig at JBL. You'd have the whole fucking the whole venue would be it'd be behind Tate Mayfair's there. Fucking JBL.
It's not often actually a Tate, but bloody hell.
Shouts to the TNT crowd for the Master Tate chance, by the way. I thought that was particularly fucking funny.
Okay,
shouts to Jay.
Mayfair's, I'm there.
Oh, he was crying by the end.
Brilliant.
Couple of Tory wanker chants in there as well.
I love it because what he's done to my beloved Martina is unforgivable.
She'll be back next as well, I think. I think she missed this one, didn't she? But she did say she'll be back at the next one. Because she was supposed to be on the meet and greet. Yeah. I was gutted, like she was on the meet and greet and she had to pull out, didn't she, for whatever reason. But we still got to get a picture with and meet the Experience, Robbie X and B.A. Rose, though, which was cool. And
I'd yell at Robbie.
Awkward picture in existence.
And at the you know, after you can go, they're all at the merch stands as usual for any of these indie shows as well. So I think Gav got a fair few pictures with a few of them there.
All right, I'll have a look. Can I hang out with you guys?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we'll be there.
Lovely stuff. All right, I'll have a look at some of the events. It does sound right up my street. And it's nice that it's not all the way down in London.
That's the thing, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, I was. Do you know what, they used to do GCW TNT, and now it's all in London, and it's like, fuck off.
Right, I'll
I'm
go
driving
to.
that.
I'll go 2 or 3 times a year down to London. Obviously, I won't miss things like Forbidden Door. I always do Royal Quest, that kind of thing. But God, it's such a trek.
Well,
Six and
that's
a half,
why I was
7
so.
hours for me.
Well, fucking hell, that's long, innit? But that's why I was so made up with the Rev Pro doing the Doncaster show, because that's. I say that's closer. It still took me like 3 hours to get there, but you know, it's easier to get to than London, essentially.
And if you can get home the same day, you don't have to pay for a hotel. It makes all the difference to me.
Yeah, I think I need to do that anyway. We didn't actually pay for hotels. Stayed at my daughter's, which was nice.
Oh.
But in Liverpool, I mean. But yeah, it was. No, it's a fantastic show. Some of these indie shows are great. I mean, we're looking at a few more now. I'm looking at hopefully going to Eve because Jamie Hayes is there. So I feel like I have to drive 250 miles down to go and watch that.
Have they not sold out?
Not yet. They've sold out all the seats. They're still standing. I'm looking at going to this deathmatch weekend in Sheffield that Gav was telling me about, because Drew Parker's on, and I'm a big fan of Drew Parker. So I'm looking at going to that in March. Burning Heart have got a weekender on, which I'm going to, because the last Burning Heart show I went to was absolutely phenomenal, and they've got a world title tournament kicking off. Some big names already announced. The Progress and knockout. You know, you got the Progress Manchester show. There's so many good shows at the moment. It's like you get to a point now where any weekend you can look and there's kind of 2 or 3 shows, not only on in the country, but shows that you could actually get to locally as well. I mean, I seen there's a show at a place where I used to live, and it's only I used to live up in Runcorn, like, and it's only a small town, like, and there's a show there with that they've got fucking Kid Lycos on. I was like, what the fuck, you know? Like, why didn't they have anything like this when I lived down there?
There's one. I'm wanting to travel down to one in Exeter. It's 9th of February, so it's not long. UPW, if you've ever been, the Ultimate
Is that
Pro
the
Wrestling.
prison one?
No, that's they're usually at Yeovil. Their main match is James Storm, Adam Maxted, and Simon Miller.
Oh, I've seen a poster for that. Yeah,
Miller's a heel in this promotion, and I will go to my grave claiming he's a natural heel. He's got everybody fooled. But yeah, James Storm. So they had Danhausen not long ago.
Ooh.
So yeah, you get some amazing people rocking up.
Yeah, I've like since like I only started going to a few of them last year, but since last year I've just been looking at more and more shows, and there's some great little promotions out there putting on great shows with some of the great talent that we all love, you know, and they work the bollocks off. Some of these guys and girls do fucking 2 shows in a fucking day, and then hit the road again to travel to do another show fucking 200 mile away, you know. So they deserve all the support that we as fans can give them, and that includes buying cool t-shirts and shit like that.
Absolutely, love the indies while you've got them, because you never know what's around the corner.
Oh fucking hell! I know, especially with this this fucking WWE shite again now, with the TNA hoovering up talent as well.
Yeah,
I mean, it feels like a backdoor to taking UK talent. That for me, the TNA thing, because Leon Slater and Danny Luna are already. You would imagine they're going to be keeping their eye on them.
Yeah. So yeah, love them while you've got them. I'll be at the Progress show Valentine's Day in Manchester. So if anyone's there, come and see me. I'll be bullying people to take the bracelets and key rings that I make. I'll be visible because I'll be wearing my bright pink fluffy Darby Allin jacket. I won't be in the tracksuit.
No Brandon Cutler tracksuit.
Not for Progress, no. No, I'll be wearing my Derby jacket.
Did anyone catch any of the GCW show this past weekend?
Yeah, man. Gav went straight to it from TNT, so he travelled straight down in the morning from Liverpool.
So he saw the one spot that I'm sure made us almost all threw up. Like, Oh my fucking god! Like, what's the guy? What's the guy's name with the face paint? I forget his name.
Cara Noir.
Cara
Yeah,
Noir, yeah.
Cara
Who I
Noir and
adore,
Effie match.
but
Oh my fuck, man! Like, uh
He's fucking
like
brilliant, though.
so for those of you who don't know the spot we're talking about, so GCW was in London this past weekend. It was Effie versus Cara Noir, and matter of fact, just go to YouTube or go to Twitter. Just look up Cara Noir and Effie and
do not do that.
GCW. Yeah, you know what?
It's a
Go look
trap.
up that match, and you're only gonna see a 10 to 15 second clip. And I just hope you haven't ate a meal at that point.
You can make an
Like,
omelette and before you watch it.
well, that's what came out of his fucking mouth into Effie's mouth, basically.
And then back again.
Oh,
Full snowballing.
Oh Christ!
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, I mean, fine
Yeah.
with it. Blood, guts broken, but absolutely fine. But an egg, God no.
It was so
I'm getting
yellow. It
in a
was
bad
so
way.
fucking yellow.
Well, it's an egg, though, mate. That's what colour they are.
I know, but it's like, oh god, how long was the? God damn it! You know, I had to see it. I hope all you guys see it too.
Although quickly on that spot, for the people policing Effie and like, someone wrote an article on Twitter about like gay representation in wrestling. Like, stop trying to police people just because they're not the type of gay that's comfortable for you. Like, fuck off.
Yeah, I
If it's
think
not for
Effie's
you,
in it.
don't watch it.
Effie. You know, if you watch Effie expecting something different, then yeah, I saw that article. I didn't actually read it, but I saw a summary, so I don't want to comment too much. But it didn't. It did seem like they were sort of going, "No, that's not my kind of queer, so it's not okay."
Man, it's
Like,
bullshit.
Effie's
eh,
just off his tits. He's sometimes he's a bellend, but like he's good at what he does, you know, which is kind of getting people to stand up and watch and be like, "What the fuck is he doing?" He's a
Yeah,
fucking wrestler. He's got to do things to to do that, hasn't he? You know.
Effie can be an obnoxious little fuck, but he gets everyone to watch him be obnoxious. Yeah, Effie's
Exactly.
gonna Effie. I think he's a law unto himself, to be honest.
He is, and like at the end of the day, none of us know him personally, so and no one knows if he is actually a bellend, full stop or not. He might be, you know, he probably is, but he might
Yeah.
actually be a really nice fella who's just laughing at us all.
He got a lot of shit for the whole Tony Khan thing, which was probably a bit stupid of him, but it's what he does.
It was stupid, and I felt like he was probably trying to promote, but just went a bit too far. And it was stupid, like, but whatever. Fucking Jericho turned up the fucking next show, didn't he? So I guess it didn't really matter that much.
Yeah, and I can't get too upset at someone bullying poor, helpless billionaire Tony Khan. I'm sure he wasn't that bad.
Oh yeah. I think he's more asked just about the Ricky Starks being a fucking prick than he was about anything Effie said, to be honest.
Yeah.
So just to wrap up this week, we're just going to get through some of the questions that have been sent to us by the Discord and on social media. And the first one goes to good friend of the podcast, Sir Gavin Cook, and he asks, "What's our favourite match that we've seen this month?" For me, it was last Saturday. It was Robbie X and Man Like Deuce.
favorite match I've seen so far. That's a tough one. Man, come on, what are we doing? It's freaking Omega and Kid.
Yeah, same. Absolutely, 100%. Nothing comes close to that. Partly for Kenny's return, but the match itself was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it's Omega Kid for me. But I'll do two actually. That's my favorite from a kind of major promotion. But if I'm going to talk for any outside, maybe it's recency bias, but it's probably Leon Cage Judas from the other night. It was a fucking great match.
Second question is Aaron, and he asks, "When should Athena drop the title?"
Never.
Never.
No.
Yeah. When they're
never,
ready
have
to
her.
make her to put her in the AEW world title race?
I think their next pay-per-view is in April, which I'm trying to remember what pay-per-view that would be. Uh yeah, but I
Before
think the next
Dishonor?
pay-per-view. Oh, the Dishonor one?
I
Oh,
think it
definitely
is,
before
isn't it?
Dishonor,
Yeah,
yeah.
it is because I was looking at that in terms of how soon we could see Big Bill take the Ring of Honor title.
Yeah, I would have her drop the belt then because that would give you a couple months where, get her on AEW television and build to that all-in match with her and Mercedes.
For me, it would be it would depend on what the score is because I know, like Jericho said again the last few days, that Tony's negotiating with streaming providers. If there is something and it's possibly big, I just don't see any way you could take Ring of Honor to its own separate thing completely and not have Athena as your champion. As much as I wanted to go to AEW, yeah, I'd leave it as late as possible if that is the case. But just for me as a fan, I'd fucking say now, get her on TV now. But the problem we have is back to what we said before. Is there any point in bringing her over now because there's no fucking time on TV for any of these women?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, no
true.
rush right now.
Maybe leave her on Ring of Honor at least. There's women's matches on there.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think you're right. If they are going for a streaming deal, they need the big names with the men and women's titles. As much as I wanted Billy Starks to take it from her. She's great, but she's not Athena.
Exactly, yeah. It is. I mean, I think she's still got a fair way to go, whereas Athena's just phenomenal now, isn't she? You're seeing that with a Japan run that this month that she can do far more than she's doing in Ring of Honor as well. She's got such a wide range.
Yeah, she's a huge name, and that's why is Jericho the men's champion?
Yeah,
He is,
I'm
isn't he?
like,
I think that's why they've got it on him. He's a big name to get them that streaming deal. I think they'll take it off him as soon
I
as
think
they've got that.
he kind of alluded to that in the interview there and said that that's why he's got it, because there's a couple of streaming platforms looking at, but hopefully it's soon because I want to see Big Bill turn and take that title. I think it looks like it was supposed to be Bandido, didn't it? But coming back and getting injured, and I think that's derailed it a little bit, but it's a shame.
Next question sort of leads in from that, from Lomax, and he says, what's the first feuds for Athena and Billy once they get called up from Ring of Honor?
Fuck knows. Athena, it's got to be Mercedes, you would think, isn't it? I mean, that seems to be where it's heading. In terms of Billy, I don't know, because I think it'd be a while before she gets called up. I mean, if Athena does move, you can't take the two of them from Ring of Honor because you would decimate it in terms of star power. So I think she needs to stay there for a fair while.
Hard for me for Billy when she does eventually come up.
That's exactly what I was going to say for Billy. If they did bring her up, then keep her with the younger wrestler who is such an obvious opposite of her. I would definitely say Julia. But no, I agree. Leave her in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, same. Yeah, Julia Hart for Billy, and for Athena, yeah, go no short-lived mini feuds. Go straight for Mercedes.
Next question's from Donna, and we've kind of covered this already in the episode, but we'll give him a shout out. She says, thoughts on the Ring of Honor deal and how the show should be presented going forward. And also, how are we feeling about the Callis family and the brilliant turnaround of this faction?
We've spoke about the Callis family already, haven't we? And we think it's fucking brilliant. And where we're going with my batshit idea that's possibly Okada, or Brett's idea, which is probably a bit better. But in terms of Ring of Honor, I just want it to be its own separate thing. I don't want to see Ring of Honor titles on AEW TV every week. It feels like a prop. I want the Ring of Honor men's title and TV title to be presented as the Ring of Honor women's title has. And it's quite sad that the only reason the Ring of Honor women's title has been presented that way is because there's no room on WBD for women, apparently. But because of that, the byproduct of that is that we've actually got a title that feels like a Ring of Honor title and not just like a prop, which probably has helped to why Athena's run has felt so powerful. But But it should be like that for all the titles. They shouldn't just be. I mean, look, how long were the Kingdom tag champ, the Ring of Honor tag champs, and they were just knocking around on Dynamite every week, and not defending them
Too
on
long.
Ring of Honor? It's stupid. Like, and I'm not one of these who wants brand splits on Dynamite on AEW. Sorry, but Ring of Honor has to have its own separate roster. It has to feel separate. Hopefully, it will if it is a separate show. But I guess we'll see.
It had such a strong identity originally, Ring of Honor, and I don't think it's completely lost that, but it's not. It doesn't have the feel that it used to have. If he doesn't have time to book it, I guess hand it over to Christopher Daniels, Brian Danielson. There are plenty of people who could run with it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, do you remember when there was a rumor that Brian Danielson was going to run it? Fucking hell, I wish that was true.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, there was a rumor knocking around that when he went into semi-retirement, he was going to basically just. Sorry, no, it was Collision, wasn't it? He was going to run Collision.
We'll give him
He can do both.
Ring of Honor.
Just give him the keys, Tony.
Same. John Callis, fantastic. Ring of Honor wanted to be its own thing when it does eventually get the streaming deal.
Yeah, man. Like I said earlier, the Callis family is night and day presentation wise from a year ago, and yeah, if and when they do get their own streaming deal for Ring of Honor, like you said, keep all the belts off of AEW television, and hopefully when they do start the streaming deal, start planting the seeds for Big Bill to be the one to take the belt off of Jericho, and maybe whether it's Billy or someone else on the women's roster, start building the seeds to have someone take the belt off Athena so she can make her way over to AEW television.
Next question is from Sir Sam from the AEW Match Guide podcast, future guest of ours.
Yeah, he's a great lad, Sam. He's coming on in a few weeks.
And he says, what do we call Omega and Ospreay? And by God, don't make the mistake that I did by using the term golden. The Ibushi stands will come for you. I was one of those Ibushi stands that came for him in the Discord.
Oh, come on, Golden Brothers is right there.
No.
I'm gonna fucking clue what I'd call him, but you'd have to call him fucking 7-star or something because that's all Dave Meltzer's going to be giving every match they're in.
The Omega powers. There you go.
Mm.
See that one? Because I can't even claim that as my own, but that's the answer.
Bruv Mega.
It's getting worse.
Yeah.
This is getting worse. Oh.
If Kenny and Hangman didn't get a name, then Ospreay and Kenny don't get one either.
Yeah, just fucking Will and Kenny.
Well, I mean, Hangman wasn't really close to Kenny's equal,
William and Kenneth.
Fancy.
The Holy Demon Army too.
It's fucking long, that
It'll be something video game related, I imagine.
Yeah, probably. Maybe fucking something Assassin's Creed related, so they can delay that game even longer.
Oh, don't. The sulk in my house has been. But yeah, it'll be something Final Fantasy, Assassin's Creed. Something nerdy and wonderful.
Yes, something nerdy and wonderful indeed. That's it in terms of the Discord.
The best bruv machines.
Taxi.
And this was Brett's last appearance on the DWB.
Next question. I'm done with this question.
Yeah.
In honor of Lucy, if Toni Storm reclaims the women's title at Grand Slam, does this see the next phase of her feud with Mariah, or does it end? And if so, who becomes the next challenger? And that's from Exile to Halifax on Twitter.
Hey. Oh, so not that I went on Twitter and told people to do this or anything. But yeah, I think if Mariah wins, then I want Harley Cameron. I want her to start right at the very bottom. I don't think she should win. But yeah, I want Harley Cameron to finally get her first win. I love an underdog who can't win. I mean, she's the female Brandon Cutler at this point, so it's obvious that she's going to be my girl. If Toni wins, I think they're going to struggle because they don't have that many top-level heels that aren't busy in the women's division.
That's what this is the problem that we were talking about before, though, because they haven't had time to build any of them. I mean, and this is why they did that stupid random stat term, wasn't it? Because they had no faces for Mercedes. It's just fucking stupid. I agree. It's going to be a struggle.
Yeah, who do they send? I mean, Nyla, maybe? Penelope Ford?
Unless the Megan Bain thing I theorized happens and she just destroys it. And then we run with the.
You're right. Yeah.
I'd love to see that, to be honest. But I feel like Mariah has to win, to be honest. I feel it'd be a shame if she doesn't, because I feel like a title reign has been tainted by a couple of nothing feuds that haven't really felt that important. Some of the matches have been good, but it just hasn't felt as important as a world title feud should feel. And I just feel like, again, that's another thing that we moan about this every week, but that's just down to the lack of time.
Maybe a returning Ty then. She's due to come back any day now.
The problem is, if you would you think they not think that the world title feud for some of these women is too much of a jump, especially Ty, considering she's been out for so long and she wasn't really in the title feud picture before that. I mean, like that's just why I felt some of the challenges Mariah's had have been weak, because the people that you wouldn't have thought would be at that level.
Yeah, maybe the one way I see that working would be a gauntlet or something. She comes in as the surprise.
Again, it goes back to what we've just been saying. No, she'd need a run of matches to build herself up, and they just won't give her. So
no.
I don't see what the solution is unless they bring back fucking Dark and build people up on there. And even then, that's just a kind of plaster over the real issues.
I've got a bit of an idea, and it's out there. Yeah, so bear with me a minute. Tell me what you think. I just come up with this now. What if Toni beats Mariah? Yeah. And her next feud is Mercedes Moné. And they do Mercedes versus Toni to unify the AW Women's and the TBS title.
No fucking way.
Please don't. They already only have two.
Yeah, no fucking way. That's
no.
You can't take a title off the women because it gives them even less things to focus on.
So no, let me finish. I'm cooking. Let me cook. Right, let me cook.
Meth.
Unify the belts.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Unify the AEW and the TBS belt. Yeah. That way you get Mercedes out of the secondary belt division into the world title. Spoiler, that Mercedes win. And then in like the next, after like a month or maybe a couple of months, you re-establish a new secondary women's belt. Secondary women's belt.
Sorry, Mike. This is dog shit. I'm gonna do Simon Cowell and be like pushing a fake buzzer here. I'm done.
No, I'm gonna offer a counter there because I've just thought of someone who might actually be a potential challenger, even though she hasn't had the matches. What about Marina Shafir?
They need to do something with it, because that's doing my head in as well. Another one where she's just turning up and they're not doing anything with her. Give her some matches. That'd be a good one. Yeah. But I wouldn't say no to Mercedes taking the title, because I think it has to happen at some point soon. Like, she's the biggest women's star in the world, and realistically, you want the belt on her sooner rather than later. I just don't know how to get there, and I think she'd have to maybe after she loses. But then when she loses, how do you push her into a world title after losing a TBS title? Maybe she has to give it up. Samoa Joe did that before he won the world title. He dropped his Ring of Honor title, didn't he? Just relinquished it. So maybe she has to relinquish the TBS belt and say, my primary title is the world title somehow. But I don't think you could do the reunification, just because that'd be taking even more of the little focus that they actually have away from them.
You know why I was saying that, by the way, just dead quick, just because I do want to finish my point, is I think they need to get away from the TBS and the TNT titles, like titles named after networks. I think they need to get away from that, especially with the shopping to Fox. And that's where you could come back with like the AEW TV women's title or something like that, where it's not named after a network.
I don't think they change that unless they move away from WBD. Will they? They seem to like that. I mean, wherever Mercedes is, she's got that TBS title with her. WBD probably fucking love that, being all over the shop. I'd like to see the it's like while we're on this, I would like to see the TBS title go back to a mid-card title and not feel like it's more important than the women's title. And the same with the, I'd like to see the TNT title defended more. You know, like it should be for me the TV title, like the old WCW TV title was. It should be the belt, sorry, that's defended on more or less a weekly basis against any challengers. I mean, it has the luxury of being the belt that people don't need to queue up and pick up wins for. You know, it's always been an open challenge belt. So I'd like to see that. And like I say, the TBS title should not be more important than the women's world title, and it feels like it after time.
Yeah, when it being on Mercedes, it definitely does.
He needs to have the world title on at some point soon, but how they get there, I have no idea. Did we answer the question, by the way, or did we just go off on one there?
We sort of answered the question.
I think I said Megan Bain, didn't I? Yeah, that was mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll pick Marina Shafir then as well.
Okay. Yeah,
I just wanted to do something.
I was gonna say Stat. You can never go wrong with Stat.
Yeah, I'll go with Megan as well then. If you're all gonna shit on my idea.
Sorry, Mike, it was shit. I've got to be honest. It was.
It's all right.
I mean, yeah, Andy, you're right. Sorry, Mike, it was shit.
It's fine, don't worry.
In the nicest possible way, Mike, it was fucking dog shit.
I come up with it there and then. It's fine. I'm not offended.
Yeah.
Right, should I tell you my 6-year plan for Brandon Cutler as world champion? You'll look
go
like
for it, yeah.
Yes.
We'll finish on the 6-year plan of Brandon Cutler as world champion. Go for it. I'm interested.
It would take hours. I have I wrote.
We're gonna have to save this for. Should we save this for a special? We'll just do an episode on Brandon Cutler.
Yeah.
3-day special.
We'll do that for the live stream. The first charity live stream, we'll get Lucy to go through a 6-year plan for Brandon Cutler.
I was like a 24-hour live stream, is it?
Easy.
Yeah.
I apologise if I've been a bit slow today. I still feel really tired from the weekend.
Thanks to the storm, our neighbours have had their alarm beeping solidly for 4 days now.
Fuck that.
So, that sounds like hell.
Yeah, we had bad storms here as well. It was horrible. Luckily, we don't have an alarm. Not us. We do have an alarm. Any burglars listening, we do. I mean, not an alarm, like beeping around.
Oh. Well, we haven't got an alarm. If burglars can find anything worth nicking, I'll half it with them.
Fucking thought the repo man was listening in there.
And that's episode 30 of the Group Chat Wrestling Podcast. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget, we are GWP Podcast UK on Blue Sky and Twitter. I'm Mike GWP. I'll let the host go through the socials in a second. Follow, like, and if you want to talk about the episode, we have a Discord. Links are on the socials. And have a nice week.
I don't give a fuck about socials, so just, don't bother following me.
Oh, I give a fuck about the socials. Follow me on TikTok, that bald bro, over 6,000 followers. Help a bald brother out. You know, you like laughing about wrestling. You know, like learning about wrestling. Give me a follow. You know, put your ass in place if you're spreading misinformation. Take it to task. 2025, we're packing up the goofies. We're kicking ass and taking names. Yeah. Go outside, touch some grass, smoke some grass, and then go home and wash your ass.
Well, I don't really want to have to follow that, but I also care about socials. I base my self-worth entirely on the judgment of strangers on the internet. I am on Twitter at Lucy's Just Lucy and on Blue Sky at Just Lucy. But I'm not on TikTok, and I'm not very funny, I'm sorry.
And if you do follow me on socials, by the way, or talk to me on socials, don't be a miserable fucker whinging, shouting pivots every 5 seconds. That's it.
All right. I think that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, nice one.